what the secret sauce is. Who's got a question?
I have a question. I've heard from like my photographer freelancer friends that they've been places where they recommended going to local universities and getting interns there because you can get unpaid interns to help you like with the marketing side if that's not your strength. Is that something y'all recommend before taking the plunge and actually hiring on somebody, or is that too risky if you don't have that vetted relationship?
Good old Ben.
So we've done that, and it works okay, but one of the most expensive things she'll do is hire new employees. And so you just, first of all, you get in this cycle of just continuously hiring and training and hiring and training, which means basically you can't have them do anything but the lowest level possible work. And then we got a letter from the Texas Workforce Commission that said you can't have unpaid interns because that's below minimum wage. And one of them had come and worked for us for literally a morning, and then went home and filed a complaint with TWC. And nothing happened. They just said, oh, we have this complaint. Just wanted you to know we have this complaint. And by the way, here's where you can read the laws on unpaid interns and stuff like that. So at the very least, you have to pay them like minimum wage. But it's, I don't know. I think the value is not. It's not worth it. For us, it wasn't worth it.
Go ahead.
Did you publicly address that complaint?
Did I publicly address that complaint? I talked it over with my employees.
You have a complaint filed with TWC. I mean, I don't know if you publicly went back and addressed that.
Maybe you want it.
I think it's, yeah. It was resolved. I mean, it's not, so there was nothing I needed to do. It wasn't like a formal complaint. It was, they were not escalating it. They were just letting us know, and for us to please be more careful, is basically what it said. But Janie, you can go back and pull that out and reread it and make sure we're good.
But these weren't through a university, right?
Yeah, they were through UT.
So you went through UT.
I went through UT. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, is that the problem? Get them from Craigslist and I don't have to pay them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Many of you mentioned that you have remote workers, and I'm just curious how you effectively coordinate and manage your remote workforce.
All right, so it's good that I'm holding because I'm the main virtual, well, I guess Dave too. But yeah, so I run a virtual shop where mainly in the New York City area, but we spread out from there. And we've fooled around with a lot of models. We've had what I call like a hybrid model where we have a physical location for some of us and then some extended team members. That didn't work well for us when we fully committed to going virtual. And so even the people in the New York City area literally working by themselves, it forced us to rely on technology heavily. We're in IRC, that really is our virtual office. Mm-hmm. There's other tools too. IRC is just good because there's a lot of other channels that people want to get in with the Drupal community. And I mean, we're pretty strict about that. Like literally, if someone is running to the bathroom, they'll change their status to BRB, because if someone else is trying to get them, I mean, it would be real annoying if you kept going by, your coworker's office and they're not there. Or there's like a ghost of them there, and you're like, hey, so this, and they don't answer you. So we're real strict about, kind of how we work virtually. We're agile like most Drupal shops, so we do stand-up calls every day for all of our projects, and our project manager has deep insights and transparency, not only with the team, but also out with the client as well. I would say being virtual, a lot of the challenges are over-communicating. You don't have the nonverbal cues that you could see. So just make sure, especially myself, I'm pretty outspoken. If I say something and I'm not sure how it's going to be construed, I'll go out of my way to make sure, if that's in a team setting, I'll follow up with that person after the meeting and I'll say, hey, I know I said this and it felt like I might have been calling you out a little bit. That's because I was, and you need to start stepping it up. No, but honestly, you have to. You do have to make sure you're over-communicating across the board. My manager, we do a management call every morning. Just, you're on the phone a lot, you're on video conference a lot, There are ways to make virtual work, but I'm not one of those people who say, it's easy. It's not easy. There's a lot of pros and cons to it. And really just evolve a process that works for you and your team, I'd say is the most important thing.
Real quick, just to add, I will totally piggyback and echo what Mike said. It is an extremely big challenge to manage a remote workforce. Employees, by nature, and I hope I don't offend some of you, they do not like to be held accountable for their time if they work remote.
Is that a new discovery?
No, but I'm letting anybody who is considering, being an owner and managing remote workers to prepare yourself for that. So how do we deal with it? Morning check-ins. We have a project manager who goes around to every developer and they have to state what their the priorities are for the day. We've integrated our project management tool with our time tracking system. So at the end of the day, before they log off, they have to have been accountable for an 8-hour day. And if the next morning we see 3.5 hours was checking email, we'll push back. We believe in a lot of structure. That's how we've had to deal with it. And to be honest, it rubs some people the wrong way. So I would say when you're interviewing, set the expectation that yes, you are working remote, but it's like you are working in a physical office. So don't think, you can come and go when you want and not be accessible during the day. And like Mike was saying, it is a lot of babysitting. So be prepared for that. And again, it goes back to if you though have good systems, it can be addressed effectively.
Just want to add something real quick to that because so I have 40 people, 31 of them in the office, 9 of them remote. So we have a slightly split situation. There are 2 types of people in this world. People that can work remote and people that can't.
Right.
That's why he's the biggest and the best, folks. Okay, another question? Oh, here.
Yeah, you talked about merging, and maybe you have a small shop and another small shop, and any kind of issues with that? Have you experienced any of that?
Everybody merge?
A
Yeah.
formal merger, or like just strategically partner on a project?
No, just like merging, the formal merging, coming together with different.
No, I don't think any of us have ever merged our
Jeff?
companies.
I'd be happy to address it. I mean, I think something we talk about a lot in this community amongst people who own businesses is that when we're faced with these large companies coming in to do Drupal, we're all a little bit trying not to be threatened. We're working really hard to try to maintain our cool, right? But if Capgemini and Accenture, who are doing Drupal today, and IBM,